Hello, Civic Spokes. Assalamu alaikum as well. Thank you for that. Excuse me. Hello, Christoph. How are you? Let's see how many people we'll have in this session. Sometimes in the earlier on session, we have quite a number of people. Sometimes we don't. And today, we had lots of questions, but it wasn't, excuse me, that many people. We had like 20 people. So we have user 22 is 28 years old. Thank you for that. Abhi is here. Hello, Abhi. And Biswajioti Ghosh. I hope I did justice to the name. Says, hi, Mehran. I'm from India. I have one question. Biswajioti, just let me know your age, gender. I know you're from India, but the other two. Remember the protocol that I have? I wonder if I put it up, then I can't take it away. So says, I have one question to you. Can we take our thoughts as a reality? No, not at all. Never. It's very, very clear. You never, ever. Why? How could thoughts be a reality? My thought is I have $1 million in the bank. It's not reality. It's far from it. Especially with this kind of subscribers. After 8 years, there's only 23,000. How could it? So a thought is just an idea, suggestion that it is, in most cases, 80, 90,000 times a day, introduced by the brain. Not even you. It's not your thought. It's not your suggestion. It's not your idea. It's not the image you wanted it to be there or you created it. It's the brain's function, material process. Brain can create things that doesn't even exist in the world, but yet it can create it. Huh? And you are clear that it is not real, but the brain has created, and you don't say anything. But then the rest of the thoughts you think has any reality? How could thought have any kind of reality at all? You're the only entity. You're the only part. Excuse me. In this entity, you, not the brain. It's two different things. There was a you for a million years lived, And only 40 years ago, 40,000 years ago, ability to think was added to this, the you that lived a million years before this. So the brain is an added value, added apparatus. This ability of thinking and speaking was added to you, who existed for millions of years before the brain was added to it as an apparatus, as a tool. Hmm? So how can that creation of this apparatus have reality? In this relationship between you and your liver and your kidney and your legs and your hands and your nose and your eyes and your heart and your brain, you are the only one that can allow any suggestion, any idea, anything that the brain produces to ever have a chance to become an actuality or just fall by the wayside and never see the light of day. Because you're the boss. You're the ultimate. You are the intellect. You are the awareness. Brain is not the intellect. Brain is not the awareness. Brain is a tool, apparatus, an independent system. And just as that, like any other organ, can go wacko, can go malfunctioning. So whatever it makes, its job is to make thoughts. But the job of, if these thoughts are any use to you or not, if they're in line with your value or not, if they're in line with your interests or not, if they're wanted or unwanted, it's all only in your hands, not the brain. Brain is like an idiot who utters things to make it look like he's doing something. And he's being a good employee, keeps cleaning the window even though it's clean, because he's supposed to show he's doing something. And the brain, it creates all these thoughts, but it's for you to decide if they should be paid attention to or ignored, because they're never reality. It's an idea. It's in a virtuality. Its creation is in a virtuality, and it itself, thought, is a virtuality. Nothing about thought, what brain produces, is actuality. You decide if it can become, should become an actuality or not. So brain and its thoughts and suggestions can never be a threat to you, because it has no ability to travel from virtual world, the brain's world, what has created and mixed you up in there, that this is the world. No, this is the virtuality world, a make-believe world for it to think that it's living in a world. But it can never travel anything from the virtual world to actual world, so you can actually interact with it and be in contact with it physically or in actuality. When you understand this, then you understand you're the boss. So all these thoughts and negative thoughts and whatever the topic could be, OCD, HOCD, pedophile OCD, scrupulous OCD, responsibility OCD, harm OCD, all kinds of substance OCD, they're all just thoughts, nonsense. They're not actuality. But the brain is so powerful that can make you believe that it can be real. But only you can make it real or not. So who's got the power? You do, not it. It is supposed to follow your lead, not you follow the brain's suggestion, leads, thoughts, or whatever else that it does. Yeah? But it's powerful. It can make your body react to it because it makes the body believe that it is reality. It can influence it to make it do something, So anyhow, it's a long story about the movement of the psyche and the power of the brain over the body and all that. But when you realize that you're the master, you're the boss, you're the judge, and you're the only real power, that the brain cannot reach you. There are aspects of you and your mind that the brain cannot reach. And this has been shown with the experiences in the modern science. It started in the Aristotle time 1,000 years ago about dualism versus materialism. And then in the experiences that was done in 1930s and 1970s by Dr. Speary, Dr. Penfield, Dr. Owen, Dr. Leibet, brilliant, world-class Nobel Prize winning researchers have proven beyond the shadow of the doubt that the brain is not you, you're not the brain, and there are aspects of you and the mind that the brain cannot even reach. You're the intellect, Brain is not. Hmm? And if you look at the book written by Dr. Schwartz, Brain Lock, clearly explains that you're not the brain. Brain is not you, and brain cannot reach you. So watch my video. I will try to put the link up here. Watch my video on are you or the brain is the you, which explains all these experiments in the modern science, in the neuroscience and neurosurgery by these experts that I just named them. And you get familiar with what I'm talking about and know a little bit more about your psyche and the relationship between you and the brain. All right. Let's see who is here. Listen, Emo, you're not supposed to be doing everything that the brain suggests. Just because there's an urge, why do you make it to become an actuality? You know, it's like the brain says, just go try cocaine. Would you going to do that? No, there's certain things that you check with your values and see if that is within your standards and accepted values or not. So if it tells you go use drugs, we say no because I don't use drugs. Says go get drunk, we'll say well yes or no. You decide. Hmm? It says go watch porn. Well, you say well I don't want to, or you do want to. You are supposed to make a judgment based on your values, what's meaningful to you, what's beneficial to you, what's irrelevant to you, what's not beneficial to you on the suggestions of the brain. Otherwise, brain is not an intellect for you to do what it says just so that it can go away. What if it tells you go kill someone? You're going to kill someone just so it goes away. What's not here? No, you ignore it. You don't do what the brain says to make it go away. What if the brain says go give $1 million to someone? What if the brain says go marry someone? What if the brain says that go steal something? Well, you're going to do it just so it can go away? No, you ignore it and teach the brain to rewire itself that these are not within my values. Stop making them because I don't pay attention to that. I ignore it and go about my business. And eventually, by continuously doing this behavior of ignoring these negative thoughts, brain learns that you're not interested. It starts reducing the production of these nonsenses and eventually rewires itself through neuroplasticity, and then it stops. And if it comes back again, you know what it is. So the jig is up. You won't be fooled. You won't be bothered. You just say, okay, these are thoughts. Thoughts can be like anything else in this world that I don't like, but it's there. So it's there. I don't pay attention to it. I do my own things. Same thing with thoughts. It can say, utter whatever suggestion. You don't have to listen to it. You do your own things. Like other people talk about so many different things, different lifestyles, different suggestions. They utter something to you, they insult you maybe, or whatever they suggest. But you make a judgment and you don't pay attention when it's not meeting your values. Same thing with the brain. Brain is also like it's something outside of you. It makes suggestion that is not relevant to you, and you check it. It's not relevant to me. I'm not interested in this, so you ignore it. Go by your business. That's how you deal with it. Not to keep going and doing it because I want it to go away. Well, what the hell? How are you going to train it then? If you keep doing the same thing that the brain says, how are you going to train the brain? Hmm? If you keep giving a treat to a dog or to an animal when they're doing something wrong, how are they going to learn that this is not what you want them to do? You ignore them and you treat good behavior. And then that gives them a signal. If you're not giving any signal to your brain, you keep doing what it suggests, well, then what do you expect? It keeps encouraged to think, oh, well, he will listen to this, or he enjoys me doing this, and it thinks you're encouraging it. So and so we have Someone says, hi, sir, male 20, Assam. Oh, Assam. I think this tea that I have here is from Assam. Best tea in the world. Um, Spokesmem is, hi, 15 years old, male, India. Dear, I hope you have permission from your parents to be here, you being so young. Um, all of you guys, if you're below age of 18, I want you to have your permission from your parents to be here. And remember, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a psychotherapist. The books that I've written is based on my research and my personal experiences in my 65-year-old age of learning thing or two, researching in neuroscience, researching in the scholars of hundreds of years ago, researching about the movement of the mind, movement of the brain, movement of our psyche, thoughts, consciousness, fear, desire, ego, material process, mechanical process, order, and things like that to get to know and become the mechanic of our own machine. So everything's happening here. And if you know how it functions and operates and its independent system and its malfunctions, then you are more um, trained and aware how to deal with it. Because this can also mess up. It's not like this is all, infallible. It makes no mistakes. No, it's got lots of problems here, every one of us. Intrusive thoughts shows in everybody's brain in this world, every single person. But when the midbrain, called it nucleus, is working properly, it shuts down the intrusive thoughts. And when it's not working, it doesn't shut it up, it hovers. And you think, oh, it must mean something because the thought hasn't gone away. It hasn't gone away because there's a malfunction in the signaling system, called it nucleus, part of the striatum in the basal ganglia, is not working properly as it's designed to do. These are some of the things you want to understand by watching these videos and researching and learning about how this functions so you won't be bamboozled and fooled by this when it malfunctions. All right. AM says 20, male, India. Says, hello, Mr. Dadbeh. Just wanted to say hi and thank you. You're quite welcome. Says, I'm on the last stage of HOCD recovery and have been doing good for a few months now. You've helped a lot in this process. Thank you. You're quite welcome, dear. And understand, HOCD is nothing to be afraid of. OCD and subsets of OCD, these are malfunctions and disorders that happens in every single human being's brain in one kind or another. Different kind of subsets of OCDs. And where it's not about, oh, I recovered from it or didn't recover. It's like having a cold. Cold, you can catch it, get rid of it, and then maybe a few months later or a year later, you may catch it again and you get rid of it. Knowing about what to do and how to manage it is the key. Not to say, oh, I have recovered and you'll never come back. And if it does come back, I'll get devastated. No, it does come back. You know what it is and you deal with it, you manage it. It's about how to interact with deficiencies, with malfunctions, with disorders, and by knowledge, knowing about how these things come about, why they come about, and not be bamboozled thinking that you're changing in any way, shape, or form, then you know how to live. Otherwise, expecting, oh, nothing ever happens to me, it's like expecting never going to be rainy or stormy or sunny or whatever day. It's a mix. You got to know which day, what to do, how to protect yourself, how to think, whatever it is, how to negotiate the road, how to drive if the road is slippery or whatnot. You can't expect always the ocean to be calm and your boat on the ocean is without any movement. No, you got to be a good, experienced captain that if the ocean is stormy, you know how to keep the balance of your boat so it won't capsize. That's important, not to wish for ocean has no waves. I don't have to do it. No. OCD, HOCD, all these things happens to almost everybody. But you got to know what it is so you can keep the balance and deal with it and retrain it, help the brain to learn, rewire itself through neuroplasticity, how to manage it, how to interact with it, so you can help your brain to regain its balance. And if it goes wacko again, then you still know what it is and you'll help it again to come back to how it is. The knowledge that you have, then you end up not even caring about what the brain does or shows up. You won't be fearful or bamboozled by it. Oh my goodness, I'm changing. No, it's a malfunction of the brain. You're not changing. That's how you deal with it. So I'm glad that the videos have been helpful to you. You ignore your thoughts that you don't want to pay attention to by focusing on the thoughts and the things that you're engaged in and you want to accomplish on that night, that day. You're set out to accomplish on that day, the task that you want to accomplish. You focus on what it is that is within your values, and you focus on the efforts that you're making in accomplishing a certain thing that you've set out to accomplish on that day. Focus on your business, focus on your life, focus on the moment, the present moment that you're involved making things happen, and you're interacting with the happenings of life. If you're in the moment, then you're not running after a thought shows up and trying to data hunt it and debate with it and figure out what it is and prove to the brain, no, this thought does not include me, that thought does include me, I'm not like this, how dare you. These are all bullshit, nonsense, and waste of your energy. You just focus on what you want to do, what you need to do, regardless of what kind of statics is out there, and you will rewire and retrain the brain by this behavior. All right. Remember, all of you guys, I have a site called mindthatseekstruth.com. Mindthatseekstruth.com. And you're always welcome to go there, make an appointment on Skype. And a new client makes an appointment for 1 hour. I will add another hour to it. And we'll have 2 hours, plenty of time to discuss and explore what's concerning you, whether it's your breakups, relationships, OCD, business decision, or some kind of a challenge in life that you have, that we can explore it, what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. Rajesh says, just woke up after having a dream about her texting me. We broke up 7 months ago. Okay, you had a dream on the girl that you were with, because all day long you probably think about her. That's not good. You broke up with her. Let her go. So many amazing, wonderful women in India. Is that where you're from? You didn't say how old you are. Remember, guys, the first thing I want to see before your questions is your gender, how old you are, and where you're tuning in from. So, gender, age, and where you're from, where you're watching this. Rory says, hi, Internet Dad. Hello, Internet Son. Rory says, you look different in a good way. Something changed? I think the different program I'm using, StreamYard instead of OBS, and I'm using a different computer. It's a better resolution. It's a newer computer. And well, I've been maybe exercising, going uphill every day for the past 15 days. Well, the last 3 days I've been busy. I didn't do it. I was going to do it tonight, but it was raining. So I said, okay, the heck with it. I'll do a live stream because I can't do my workout. I usually go from the main street to way up, straight up. It's about, I don't know, 45 degrees straight up, uphill for about 20 minutes. And then I come downhill and go about the sea, about 3 kilometers. So that's 3 kilometers, and then that's 3 kilometers and coming back. It's about 9 kilometers every day, every night. And tonight I was just about to, but it's raining. So maybe later on it'll kind of clear up, maybe about 10:30 I'll go. So, and Rory says, oh, sorry about that. Then I called you daughter. It's your fault because you didn't tell me about the credentials that I needed. You're telling me now before your questions. So, okay, I should have said, thank you, daughter. All right. Rory says 30 female, New York. Oh, okay. Says, I broke up with my fiance because we were so different in many ways. I still loved and cared for him a lot, and I recently saw his picture looking so in love with a new fiance. When did you break up, Rory? And let's see, maybe you said it here. She says it's been a year and I still have that ache in my heart when I saw him being happy. How do you know he's happy? He was happy with you. He looked that way too, but you broke up with him because he wasn't qualified. If you constantly think about the things you liked about the person, you'll never get the chance to see that person as his or her actuality is at the given time. So, in fact, you will recognize their look, but you don't give a proper updated file in their consciousness and character to them. But selectively, you're choosing their looks and who they are, recognize them, but you're giving them the file that belonged to a year ago, 2 years ago, when you guys were in love or were lovey dovey, and you give that behavior, that interaction that you remember, you give that file to them. So then you say, why am I missing it? You're missing because you're actually missing the updated file. You didn't update the behavior file, how he has changed, or you guys both have changed. You're still recognizing the physicality of the person as the person, and they're bringing about the same program as if it was 2 years ago. Then naturally, there's nothing there for you to be bothered by or to find a reason that, oh, yeah, that's why I broke up. That's why it didn't work out. You wouldn't even recognize it because you're selectively taking the good memories and putting it on this person that today, if you look at his behavior, his actuality, his interaction with you, you will see the reasons why you guys broke up. But you're not allowing yourself to see that because usually the psyche doesn't want to see the pain, only wants to pick the good, cherry pick all the good experiences. When you do that, your focus would be all the good things, and you say, oh, I miss him or I miss her. And then you wonder. But when you focus on the actuality of the person, by remembering the reasons that you broke up, the issues that were the problem, and the differences that you just mentioned briefly, then you will see the persona is the reason that you guys broke up, not the look or the selected good memories that could complete that whole experience or picture. It was a lot more than that. And those extra ones, other than the good experiences, was the reason why you guys broke up. But you don't want to bring those to the picture anymore. And that's the problem. And whether he is happy with the new fiance or not, who gives a shit? So what? You're supposed to have respect for yourself. You saw, you experienced, it wasn't the right match, gone. Next. The world has not stopped and ended with one particular person's character to be the only chance you have in life. And you're what? You're 30 years old, very young. So hold your horses and see if you can find what you're looking for. Definitely, this wasn't it. So you can't say, oh, because there's no one else right now that I can choose or find qualified, then why did I break up with the other one? Well, that wasn't it because you were together. And if he was the right one, it would stick, it would stay. It didn't. So what do you want? Let it go. Have respect for yourself. And why am I still in this dump? You're not. You're not. The brain is making you think because you're not giving it enough information to calculate. You're selecting the good parts and remembering those, and you're not selecting the problems to bring about and complete that profile. Then you feel this way. And Rory says, and now I got so emotional and reminiscing our good times. There we go. I just said that, didn't I? I guess I thought we were special. Everybody does that. Everybody thinks that way. Because who wants to say, I don't have a good case here? This girl or this guy, whatever your relationships are, is the best one. Why? You're together to find out if it's the best one or not. And obviously wasn't. I guess I thought we were special, and seeing him move on so fast and being happy while I'm trying to self improve after breakup made me sad. Why should it make you sad? What he is happy or not happy is an assumption of yours. Whether it's a right assumption or not, who cares? You got to be focusing on if you find the path to be happy. You're looking at one snapshot of someone's life, a moment that's smiling or whatever, and you're making an interpretation and judgment of the whole entirety of the experience of that person in that particular time and space. Oh, he's happy. How the hell do you know who takes a picture looking like this? Everybody's gonna smile, look happy. That's not neither here nor there. But you want to be fooled by the suggestion through illusions through eyesight, and then interpret the actuality of a situation based on that observation of a momentary expression of happiness. Nobody, even when you're upset and devastated, when it's about to take a picture, is going to look like this. Everybody can see they're looking like this. As soon as the camera is there, they go. So, and now you want to judge this whole person's mood based on that moment. Yeah. And how stupid is it that a person breaks up with one and gets engaged with another one? That's definitely not the right person. So you did the right thing, because the man seems to be a little bit light on the upper side. So don't worry. You will be fine. Respect yourself, and don't worry about what other people do. Focus on what you need to do and what's good for you. And the rest of it is just fooling yourself. If the person was qualified, it wouldn't break up. People are not stupid, neither you nor him or anybody else. If it was good, you guys would have kept it together. If it didn't keep together, that means it wasn't. So what do you want from yourself? All right. Charles DC says, hello, Mehran, 34 Luxembourg. Oh, you're here again. Okay, good. Good of you to join us. And Rajesh says, I'm 23, male, yes, India. And thank you for that. And Rajesh says, I'm 21. So what happened? You lost 2 years in one line? Rajesh says, I'm 21. Okay. So, okay, 21. All right. You're too young to want to get married anyhow. So don't even think about it. Roger says yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Repeated that. Okay. Uh, and why is everything coming two times? Everybody's message is coming two times. Rajesh Dankar says, I recently saw her unblocking me after 7 months. Should I talk to her once like normal time? Why? Why? Why is this a privilege that some of you guys really honestly disgrace yourself just by the fact that the girl unblocked me? So let me run to her and kneel. Oh, thank you. Why didn't you say, why did she block you? Were you being a nuisance? Were you being threatening? Were you being an asshole? If you were, okay, she blocked you for that. If you weren't, well, the fact that she blocked you was a bad behavior. Hmm? And even if she did, you should have unfriended her right away anyhow. Why should you wait for them to decide? If you guys broke up, then move on. But right now, you are saying she unblocked me. So let me talk to her. What do you want to say? Why? Why is it that you're supposed to run like a little, rabbit because the carrot is shown? If she really has some kind of a thing to say, she should get in touch with you. Have respect for yourself. She unblocked me. Let me run now. You do that, then the kind of treatment you're going to get is the kind of treatment you got. She left you because she thought she's better than you. And you do this, she'll still be sure she's better than you. Why? Because she's not going to think any further than that. The fact that you're running, even though she hasn't invited you, just she unblocked you. Boom, the doggy is running. Don't behave that way. You will treat yourself to feel that you're below her. Hmm? It has to be equal opportunity. She has anything to say, she has any interest, she should send you a message and say, hey, I'm not involved with anybody anymore. I was thinking maybe we can talk. Okay, you'll talk and see if it's any merits there and should you continue talking or not. But just the fact that she's a woman and she unblocked you, so let me now talk to her. The standards for qualifying your possible girlfriend or a female that you want to know for females should not be limited to them allowing you to talk to them. You should also see if they qualify and deserving for your connection and interaction with her or not. It's not just her that should see if you qualify to be talking to her. You should also see if she's qualified. And if your criteria only is because she's a female, she's got, things that I like, so that's enough, she's qualified. Well, then you're making a mistake. Your relationship with a woman is not with her physicality. Her physicality attracts you, yes, because you're a heterosexual male and you're programmed for procreation. You're programmed to pursue woman, to want to be near her, accompany her, and get to know her, and so on and so forth. But your relationship with that human being is based on the contents of the consciousness. You can't decide just because she looks pretty, then she's got all the qualifications that you desire or you expect from a girl. You got to see, what is she bringing to the table? What manners, what morals, what loyalty, what education, what plans, what career, what offering, what is she doing? What are you bringing to the table? What education, what provisions, what can you do? What are you offering? You can't just be saying, oh, I do all these things and you're qualified anyhow because you're a woman. Okay, well, that's why you get into something that later on you will have problems because you didn't see if you guys bond on consciousness level or not, if you're compatible or not. Hmm? If it was just the looks, look at all the actors and actresses. So many of them around the world. Actors are good looking mostly, and actresses are beautiful mostly. And many of them get married, both good looking and pretty. But it doesn't last, does it? And they're both wealthy too, but doesn't last, does it? Because the relationship is not based on the money. The relationship is not based on your looks. The relationship is based on the conditioning of the contents of your consciousness. And you got to see if you can bond on that level, if you can have similar kind of values, and if you're willing to compromise, if you're willing to learn from each other, or you just want to be who you are and just try to dominate each other and bully each other and bring some kind of a vision that you have without considering how it's going to be playing a role in having a family or building something or not, just thinking about your ego and all that. That's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't matter how you look or how wealthy you are. So in other words, hold your horses, go on with your life with other people. If she has any positive and respectful intentions, then let her contact you. You're not the one who left. She left. So don't run. You run, she won't comply properly. She will say, oh, okay, see, she unblocked you probably because it's not working out with her new guy or her life, whatever. And she wants to feel confident because you're going to approach her. You're going to say, hello, how are you? Everything good? And so on. And she feels confident because of your attention. Then she's going to use that confidence and go on about her life and maybe give chances to some other guys who are not paying attention to her, and she doesn't feel secure in front of them. So she gets the confidence from your attention, and she's going to look strong in front of them to attract them. Don't be a gopher. She had her chance, and now you're 21-year-old. Focus on your university, get your education, get a good job, build your life, have some money, and then you will see there will be a lot other opportunities open up for you. All right. And Chuck Stair says, damn, good advice, Mehran. Oh, which one? I don't know. Which one was it? And Asit Kumar says, 32, male, India. Listen, guys, do you guys during the week promote this channel at all? Look, there are 13 people here only. Shameful for a channel with this quality of content. Don't you agree? So bloody hell, get off your butts and do something. Share the videos you like, or talk about it on social chat lines or whatever it is, social media. Promote the channel if you care about other people, that we can reach other people and help more people. Otherwise, it'll be just few people, and eventually I say, okay, the hell with it. Nobody's really appreciating it, and then I'll just make videos once in a while, and no more live stream. So this channel cannot survive if you guys don't do something. And don't tell me this is the right time for India and Australia and Middle Eastern countries, but yet we have what? 14 people here. 1.3 billion people, and we have 14 people here. So there's something wrong either with our content, or me personally, or the channel is not somehow recognized. And because it's not recognized, I need more of your help. So do something. Gee. Asit says you are telling next as if we have plenty of options. Oh, so it's not about quality. It's about option. If that's the kind of respect you have for yourself, you're going to end up with kind of a bullshit wife in your life, because you didn't choose her based on qualities. You chose her because option was limited. I mean, you go to a restaurant, and if the food is not good, you come out. But for your life dream and building a life and family, you don't have high standards, just because that's what's available, so I'll get that. Is that logical? Well, the choice is yours. Rory says, thank you, Internet Dad. You're welcome, dear. Koratulian. Koratulain? I don't know. Khalid says, why do we think it's meant to be even when they leave you? Oh, because it obviously was, because it wasn't working. So if it's not working, why shouldn't you even want them to leave? Because you're focusing on the pleasure and you're not focusing on the pain and the derogatory experiences or the negative experiences. You're willing to endure an uncomfortable and not compatible situation so you can have a certain pleasure of intimacy, sex, and the order that you're used to. Often, when a relationship doesn't work, it's not that you're really missing that woman or that person, whatever your relationship is. It's not that you're really missing your ex. Yes, there is a portion of that. But the bigger part is that your order in life has changed. You see, before you got together, you were having a single life. And in that single life, each one of you, you and the girl, were doing certain kind of an activities. You would wake up, you would have your tea, you'd wash up, you clothe yourself, go out to school or to a job and take the bus or go to a coffee shop, or after that go to the gym or go to cinema, go to visit your friends. These were your activities. These activities were called mechanical process, the things that you would do during the day to have your day filled with the things that you wanted to accomplish. Now, through these mechanical processes, you would create a certain routine. That routine would lead to a certain kind of a order in life. And the brain doesn't find security as your body does. Your body finds security by you knowing where things are. Nose, hands, limbs, everything is here. I feel secure. I'm in the apartment and the door is locked and it's in a good part of town. So physicality gives security to your physical part of your entity. But the mind doesn't find the security that it also looking for. The brain doesn't find the security that it also searching for in the physical, doesn't find it in the physicality, in the physical environment. Just because your body is safe, the brain doesn't find the same to be true, because its safety or security manifests itself, comes about to be through the order, the rhythm of life, through occupation, through how things are. That's where the security is for the mind. So when you get together with a partner, you find a woman, the woman finds you, you create a relationship. In creating that relationship, you give up some of the mechanical processes that you were doing on your own before you met each other, some of the activities that you were doing, and she gives up some of it. Your order, your routine of things will interfere with her routine, and her routine interferes with your order. But you will compromise after a while, and together you create new mechanical processes, new things that you do individually and together, but it will be designed in for that relationship, the things that you would do during your daytime. That's the mechanical processes. And through that, you two together collectively create a new routine, which leads to a new order. In this new order, both of you are sharing, and your brains, your mind finds, remember, brain and mind is different, but in this particular discussion, they both mean the same, and just so that you will be aware. Otherwise, brain is different than mind. But so in this order, both your minds find security and you get used to this rhythm of life. How you get up, what you do, whether you're living together or not, or just texting, saying hello, and go to your work or your school and then meet each other afterwards, or go cinema or date or dinner or gym or whatever activity it is. All of that becomes the order of your life in which your minds find security. Now you have security through that. But when you break up, the order is broken. When the order is broken, so the order is not there as it used to be. And when it's not there as it used to be, the brain, the mind, is now agitated, cannot find where its security is because the order is broken and its security was in the midst of the order, through the order. So that's why the brain, the mind, keeps going into the memory. Why? Because in the memory, everything is recorded. And that order that the mind found security in is recorded. How things were is in the memory. That's why you keep going into the memory to find that security back. And while you're in the memory, you remember her because she's in the memory. While you feel secure, you think, oh, it's because she's here. I feel secure. So I need her. No. Part of it, you miss her because of obvious reasons. But the bigger part is that you feel secure, you feel comfortable when you're in the memory, not because she's there, not because of her, because the order is still intact in the memory. So what you need to do is to find new mechanical processes after breakup. Find new things you like to do, you enjoy to do, like to accomplish, like to learn. You have to be busy with, be productive, and create new routine, through new routine, create new order. And in that order, again, your mind finds security. When it finds security, you will see that you're balanced and you're settled and you don't miss her much because the security is there. You miss her, but not in the devastating form. Because you don't keep going to the memory anymore. You're busy, you're accomplishing things, you're doing things. You have new order, you've got new responsibilities, new mechanical process, new things that you're active in. So this is why you think it's meant to be. You try to convince yourself that, but focus on the problems that you had. That's why it broke up. It's not meant to be or not meant to be. But this is why you feel kind of imbalanced, what I explained. Oh, I hope that's helpful to you. Johanna, oh my goodness. I uh-huh. Johanna says, the reason I say my goodness, because I know I told her that I'll do something for her and I haven't done it. And I was hoping that she wouldn't notice. Johanna says, hey, I found out that my ex now is around the female friend he left me for, that he said he didn't talk to anymore. And he still checks my Instagram stories. I blocked him again. Good for you. Says, how can I stop comparing myself to her, that she is better than me because he wants her and not me? And he left me for this female friend. Well, look, some people don't like spaghetti and they prefer, I don't know, tuna sandwich instead of the spaghetti with meatballs or spaghetti napolitane. So, what does that mean? Because of their choice for canned tuna would make the spaghetti napolitane not as good anymore? Their choice makes the canned tuna better than this Italian food that is made by an excellent chef? Selection and the preference of someone for something does not diminish the value of the higher value thing. Someone goes to the jewelry store and they'll see the same diamond ring in three different stones came in. One in diamond, one in cubic zirconium, one in crystal, one in glass. They all look the same. If the person chooses the crystal one, because they can't tell the difference between either one of them, does that because this person chose the lower value stone or lower value material in that ring, does that devaluate the actual brilliant, the diamond ring? No, the diamond ring still remains diamond as valuable, regardless of what this person chooses. All it means is that this person is not inclined, not qualified, not knowledgeable to know the difference, that which is more valuable. So to his or her taste, chooses what looks good to them. That's their level of understanding. Their level of understanding, hence choosing what they choose, does not determine the value of the higher value stone. And you're telling me just because the guy chose some other girl, that has anything to do with your value? What kind of a assumption is that? If someone is not knowledgeable to know the difference and what's more valuable, that does not diminish the value of the valuable thing. It just means they're not knowledgeable enough. Their level of understanding and standards are below what this one is. And the problem here is that you're focusing on what he chooses is setting the value for you, rather than you considering that the person who's making a choice is not qualified to choose you, is not qualified to be in the same level as you are. That's how you should be thinking. Otherwise, there is no real reason for you to think this way, or for him to have such high understanding or power or qualities that could determine the value of something that he doesn't choose or he does choose. I mean, it can be described in different ways, but look, if I can't afford a certain car and I buy that car because that's my understanding, my expectations, that's what I can afford. That doesn't mean the car that I chose, because I chose it, then it's better than a Ferrari. No, I just don't have the money for a Ferrari. Or maybe I don't have that expectations of performance of a Ferrari. I can't take it. I can't use it every day. It's higher quality, so on and so forth. So I hope you get the gist of it, what I'm trying to say. So instead of focusing on his action determining your value, you got to focus that he wasn't qualified to be with you. You should disqualify. Therefore, when he's disqualified, his choices don't mean anything to you either, instead of the other way around. Johanna. And Johanna forgot to enlighten us about what we usually do. Okay, I know your gender, you're a woman, but age and where are you tuning from? Sweden, is it? Anyhow. Ignatius. He says, Reddit can be a place for promoting you in OCD forums. Go ahead then. I'll leave it up to you. And Asit says, I will promote this channel when I get moved on from recent breakup. Well, then hurry up, move on, because the channel doesn't have that much time. Quartolane says, I miss my ex. It's been so long, but can't forget him. I can't stop thinking about him since the day I saw him. but he got engaged and left. Love from Pakistan. Love from Canada, dear. But if he has left you and is engaged or married, then he doesn't deserve you. Stop thinking that someone who hasn't chosen you is worth being with you. You do the selection, not just them. It's a two-way street. So have a little bit more respect for yourself and don't sell yourself short. Focus on your life. Continue, I don't know where in life you are, your education or your job. Be good at what you're doing. Be able to provide for yourself so you won't be accepting anyone's proposal based on provisions or comfort in life or being able to feed yourself. You can do that on your own. Have power and independence in your financial and economic means. So build your life based on your job or education, whatever it is you got to do to become independent. And then you will choose the man that supposedly you might be interested, or somebody comes and propose to you based on their qualifications, not based on what they can provide that you can't. Make yourself independent, then select based on what you expect and if they're the right people or not, and if you have compatibility and similar values and so on. Quatulaine says, okay, but I'm a girl. Well, yeah, but that's not my fault. You're supposed to introduce yourself before the questions, because when it goes Khaled, Khaled, I don't know if it's a man's or woman's name in different countries. In places I know, Khaled is man's name, but maybe it's a last name. And I don't know if these are screen names or real names. So help me out, guys. Throw me the bone. Give me the info. Dr. Evil here. So, all right. And Quartulaine says, you're a wonderful human being indeed. I really wanted to hear this. It meant a lot. You didn't need to hear it because you know it. Hmm? Your intellect already knows it. But we all like to hear it from somebody other than ourselves, because then we think, oh, well, and there's another person who thinks that way. But this is the only way that is the actual fact. All right, let's see. Quartolin says, you're absolutely right. Thank you. You're quite welcome. Charles DC says, I'm in tears because she deleted everything as if it never existed. So what? Who is she that being not being deleted in her, in the experience with her, would make a difference in this whole big universe and the opportunities and challenges that it comes with it? Who is she? What has she done? What has she accomplished that she's so almighty now that being included in her life means so much to you? And no other woman, when there's so many amazing women out there, they don't measure up anymore just because this one was here. Who the hell is she? What has she accomplished? What does she do in life? What kind of a experience and what kind of a contribution she makes to the community and society and the world in general? How does she make this world any better? That it's all that. You can have the same feeling you have for her with somebody else if you're given enough time and experience and interaction and sharing. So many more amazing women who actually want to be committed to a good relationship, maybe to a good man. Yeah. So don't sell yourself short and don't limit the opportunities of the world just to one woman or one relationship. That would be injustice to the chances and opportunities that are available to almost everybody. Focus on building your life, become independent, have some money, and then you will see the opportunities will not stop. There'll be a lot more interested parties that would come your way. Now, Charles DC says now she's 33 and I can't understand why she chose to build everything new as she had me for that. She told me I did everything wrong and she has nothing done bad. I'm devastated. Well, that's what she said. But why do you think that what she says is any more truthful than what you say and what and how things have been? If that's what she thinks, she better go. You don't want to be partner in life with a woman who actually thinks you did everything wrong. And 10 years of energy and life and investment in this relationship means nothing to her. That's a person that cannot understand loyalty and commitment. And you're lucky someone really up there loved you to actually got this thing out of your way. And instead of you counting your stars and starting over with tremendous energy and know-how, you're falling apart. For who? For someone who has no understanding about building a life, loyalty, and following a certain kind of a commitment and promises. And remember, 10 years, you're 33, you were 23 years old then. You hardly knew yourself, who you are, what you're all about, what you want, what standards you have. You had none, let alone knowing what kind of a woman you're looking for or should be deserving you. So you just took what a 23-year-old man thinks woman is the world. Well, we always think the woman is the world, but at age 23, we don't really have much measuring sticks. We don't have much of a standards and qualifications. What should we look for in a woman? We hardly know what makes us special. Or what is it that we are all about? What we like, what we don't like, what our standards are, what we need to build a good life and family. We don't know any of that ourselves, let alone knowing what kind of woman you are. All you decide, your decisions are based on how she looks and how turned on you are. And then, heterosexual male turned on by just any pretty girl show up. It doesn't take much. But that doesn't mean that is the same as compatibility on consciousness level. But at that age, you don't know the difference. And then through 23, 24, 25, 26, you get used to the same system and thinking, wanting to be a good man, you keep thinking that my woman is the best. And you rewire and you retrain and you brainwash yourself because as most young people or old people who we are all selfish and think a lot about ourselves, in order to make ourselves look really good and valuable, we make what we actually are in relationship with look so valuable and high and mighty. Because when we make her to be so amazing, then we are actually making ourselves amazing because she's so amazing. You tell all your friends, and then what does that mean? It is, I have the amazing thing. And then after a while, you actually believe that she's really that amazing. But in fact, you really wanted to show your love and affection and feel good about yourself, that I'm the best, therefore I have the best. So you make her to be the best. And in the process of making her to be the best, to feel the best yourself, you actually believe that she's the best because you keep telling that to yourself. And after 10 years, when she actually does something like this, you think you lost the best. But who said she was the best? You did. You brainwash yourself through this 10 years. But in reality, how could she be the best? A person that after 10 years or 2 years or a promise that she has made, she actually How could that be the best? It's actually the best chance you have to find the best by her being out of your way. Hmm? Because she had the chance, she was there, you did whatever you could. Hmm? And if she's not happy about it, she better go. And you got to find someone that you can be happy with. That's how you should be thinking about it, not the way you do. You haven't lost anything, devastated. You just think about your order and the memory and what I talked about earlier. Why should you be devastated? World is far bigger than a relationship with this one thing. You can't sum up the whole opportunity of the world and the experience, the entirety experience of life into this one relationship with this woman who actually is not loyal to the promises that you guys have made to each other. Wish her well, let her go, and then wish yourself well, and then go on with your life. All right. Chuck says, I always give you my ASI, age SI. Well, okay. Says, you just missed it tonight. Did I? Let's go look at Chuck Stare. Chuck. Chuck, 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 Chuck. Hmm. Yes, Chuck. 34, Luxembourg. Yes, it's true. But guys, that's Charles, DC. No, that's not Chuck. Chuck Stare. Here it is. 37, male USA. Oh, I missed that one. Says, regarding something from earlier live chat, I drank my tea and ate my dinner tonight, remembering to practice mindfulness, like you said. And I have to say, it was delicious. Okay, good for you. Excellent, excellent. Very good. I'm proud of you. Okay. Uh, Guys, the reason I say that because every time I read your questions, I don't remember how you introduce yourself. So always put that three little things, M for male, F for female, then age, and then the country or the city. So three things. M, 32, I don't know, Luxembourg, whatever it is. All right. Before any question, any, response or whatever, that gives me a little bit of, okay, who am I talking about? Nova says, hello, Mehran. Hello, Nova. Remind me, Nova, age, gender, where you tuning in from. Asit Kumar says, I was crying whole night since last 2 months when her family broke the engagement. Why do you cry, Asit? Again, please put your age in front of every time you make a comment because I can't go back look for it and I don't remember. Asit, why should you cry? What for? I understand, but you know, that doesn't solve anything. It just makes you feel like enforces the idea, the wrong idea that you think you've lost something amazing. How could you think something that doesn't want you is an amazing thing? First qualification for something to be amazing is that it wants you. Let's say you were going to a store to buy a suit. You can't say, oh, this looks amazing. Yeah, maybe. But when you wear it, try it on, and it doesn't suit you, then you should automatically have a feeling of, Yeah, but it doesn't suit me. So that means it's not really as amazing as I thought it would be before I tried it on. So if it doesn't suit you, that can't be in the same category of amazing as the one that suits you. So the first qualification for something to be amazing is to suit you, to fit you, right size. This woman cannot be amazing because to be amazing, she must be for you. She must be loyal to you. She must want to complete her commitment, her promise. But I understand in India and Pakistan, there's certain kind of a um, tradition that parents make decisions for the groom and the bride, and they really don't have much to say, to the point that they could be in love with somebody else, and at the last moment the parents say, no, not that one, we'll choose this one for you, and he or she got to say, okay. No, that's how it is. I can't say if it's good or bad, because that's your culture, and but that's how it is. So, and all you need to know is that if someone doesn't approve of being your wife, or that family doesn't have that understanding, they're not qualified to be your in-laws. They're not qualified to be your wife, or vice versa. You know, if a woman is being, the family of her fiance is breaking off the engagement, then that means they're not qualified to be her husband or her in-laws. Why should you think that, oh, they broke it off, so that means there's something wrong with me? No. Whatever reason, they could have other reasons. Maybe money, or somebody with more money showed up. That's could be how they think. Whatever the reason is, you figured out. Nova says 21 male, Florida, USA. Ah, thank you for that. Acid, don't think that being dumped is the worst thing. First of all, nobody dumps you or dares to dump you. You should not think about yourself in that way. You should think that they did not deserve to have a man like you. And you should build your life, have more motivation to become more successful, and go find a better wife for yourself. Simple as that. This things like this should be more of a motivation to you than devastation. Charles DC says, male 34, Luxembourg says, thank you for that, by the way. Says, I tried several times to talk to her and explained what we had together. And we wanted kids, build a family, and that she's 33 is in the age for that. Well, look, you don't have to explain to her. She knows it damn well what she has missed, what she hasn't. She probably has some kind of illusion she can do better, or whatever it is that she's thinking. Let her go. You don't want to have a horse run side by side with you, both of you trying to pull the buggy, and the buggy being life. And you two horses, the two horses being you and her, that are connected to the buggy with chain, not a solid rod or solid timber, by chain. The horses are pulling the buggy life with chain. Look, you want that horse that is running beside you, that is together pulling the buggy life behind you with chain, to be able to run and committed to that direction and that journey. Because if for some reason, in front of this small obstacle or any obstacle, you are going and she doesn't jump over it, she doesn't power through, you guys going to get stuck on that obstacle. And the buggy being life connected with chain, the chain is going to fold, and the buggy is going to crash the back of the horses. It's going to run over you. Life is going to run over you. So you don't want a woman who's not loyal to the direction and the commitment, and is not willing to run as strong and equally side by side together to build and take a journey together. So your lucky day that you didn't end up with this horse with this human being who's supposedly be your companion on this journey of life, to pull and run with the speed that the, the weight of life cannot catch up and crush you guys, and is ready to run and jump over obstacles, deal with challenges. And obviously she's a weak link, so let her go. Don't try to explain anything with her. Nova says, I feel like I do compulsions to protect myself, but they say compulsions aren't good for you. Yeah, because what compulsion does is this. I want you guys to listen carefully, because every human being on earth has some kind of an OCD and deals with some kind of a obsession and the compulsion. And you got to understand what this entertaining the compulsion, entertaining the obsession with the compulsion, what it leads to. Look, when you have certain kind of OCD of any kind, any subset, and the obsession shows up, in order to feel relieved and assured, you do the compulsion, whatever it may be. Feel like if I don't touch the light switch, maybe my parents die or something happens bad. It's illusion, but however, we're not getting in there right now. So you go and touch the switch for 5 times or 10 times, thinking that alleviates that worry, gives a certainty that things are balanced. Or maybe it's washing the hands, or maybe checking the stove or locking the door 5 million times. Either way, doing what the obsession, the worriness is the compulsion. When you do the compulsion, you feel relieved. Okay, everything is good. But when you do the compulsion and you feel relieved and you think everything is good, something else happens. Dopamine is released. Because when you feel something good about to happen or something good happened, you feel good, dopamine is released. And you continue compulsion for every time that the obsession shows up, every time there's dopamine released. And after a while, you're no longer doing the compulsion because of the obsession or because of the compulsion itself to feel good. You're doing it because you get dopamine. So now the compulsion being the reason, the obsession being the reason for compulsion, and compulsion being something you want to do when the obsession shows up to relieve yourself, the motivation to do the compulsion is no longer the obsession. It's now changed to getting dopamine. And after a while, you're addicted to dopamine to feel good. And after a while, no longer you're doing the compulsion because of the obsession. And you're no longer doing it to get the dopamine, because after thousands of times doing it, now it becomes your habit. Once it becomes your habit, it's even harder to get rid of in the OCD world. That's why it's important for you to understand what OCD is, all different kinds of it, pedophile OCD, harm OCD, HOCD, responsibility OCD, scrupulous OCD, whatever OCD subsets are, to understand how it happens, why it happens, how you to deal with it, how to rewire your brain, how to retrain your brain, how to help your brain, teach your brain, rather than believing in that, oh, this is a just cause, something that I have to do, otherwise, this and that. When you learn this knowledge, then you can deal with it, because when it becomes habit, it becomes more difficult to get rid of. So, what was it that we got in here? Compulsion to protect myself, but they say, yeah, that's why compulsion is not good, because it doesn't get rid of the obsession. By understanding the process and what's happening, you can deal with that rather than keep complying. It's like a blackmailer that somebody says, oh, you got to give me this, otherwise I'm gonna, I don't know. There were some idiots that were on the internet that would send you an email, say, oh, we put a program on this or that site, and we saw your face doing something, and they threaten you to get some kind of a money. These blackmailers, if you comply with them, instead of going to the police, let's say, you comply with what they want, then they constantly want that. Same thing. Compulsion is like a blackmail. If you keep doing it, it wants to do more. And then it becomes your habit. No longer you're in control. It takes harder to get rid of the habit. All right, that's why it's not. The sooner you understand what OCD is and how to deal with it, the better off you are. Kuratulain, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, says, why haven't I found the same value like my ex with any other guy? A lot of guys approach. So, in other words, you want to find another guy like this idiot who left you, and then you call that good? What are you saying? You're hurting because the guy left, but you consider the guy who's like the guy left you is a good quality? So, if you're looking for a guy that would be like the guy who left you, what good is that? Because he's going to be behaving the same way. So why are you looking for a similar guy to that guy? Find someone who's not just behaving well and treating you well, but also can stand on his promise. They can commit to something. That is very important. And says that with any other guy, a lot of guys approach me who are more good looking, but I don't find them better or attractive. Sometimes I feel like I will never move on. No, it's not that they're not better or more attractive. It's because you haven't moved on. Look, as long as your boat is tied to the dock, you can't expect to explore what's out there in the ocean, what other islands and other sceneries are out there, because you can't go towards new opportunities. You're tied down to the dock. Cut the rope and then you will see. So stop thinking about that guy was amazing, because he wasn't. If he was amazing, he wouldn't have left. So that's already disqualified. Kick in the butt and let him go. Then you will be looking at these other guys who approach you with a different intention, to allow them to introduce themselves to you, to see what they're made out of, to see how they interact with you, if they're worthy of your consideration, if you guys can bond on conscious love, if their behavior is right, if they come from a classy family, if they come from a good quality of mannerism. That you don't even give them the chance to introduce yourself, because you constantly cut them off because that one was better. How could it be better? The guy who has left you can never be better than the guy who wants to be with you. I don't care what. So give him a chance by first get rid of that in your mind and say, the one who doesn't stay with me is not qualified to have my attention. The one who doesn't stay with me doesn't deserve my attention. That's what you should say. The one who's not with you does not deserve your attention. Okay? And then you can see what the others are all about. But as long as the other TV and the other movie is on and you keep looking at that, you can't say, well, I don't understand what this movie is about in this other screen. Well, because you keep looking at that one. Stop looking at that one, then you'll understand the story on this one, and you say, wow, this is a much better movie. So, hope that makes sense to you. Charles says, male 34 Luxembourg, thank you for that again, says, how to deal with the loneliness after being 10 years with the same girlfriend every day. How is she dealing with it? If she can do it, you can do it. Because you think you should remain loyal to your memory. You think it's a sin to move on. But you should focus to the facts. Focus on the facts that she doesn't deserve to be in your life because she relinquished her responsibility and her commitment. Therefore, that's the end of it. I don't have to be loyal to her. It is not a sin to move on. I have my life and I deserve a good woman, and I move on. And I find that what I deserve. This didn't deserve me, and I don't want her. Doesn't matter, 10 years or 20 years. You cannot live on the memory. The 10 years was the memory, how and who she used to be. What you need is the moment, present moment. In the present moment, she doesn't have those qualifications that you rely on for that 10 years. For that 10 years, she was somewhat in some way. But if she was in the same way, she wouldn't be still with you, not be out. And if she's out, that means she's no longer like how she used to be 10 years ago or in this 10 years, which means she's no longer who you think she is. You're stuck because you still think she is who she used to be with you. And you're wondering, oh, I can't let this go. No, she is not the same person. The person that you're missing is not her. The person you're missing was 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 7 years ago. This one is someone who looks the same, but the mentality, consciousness, character, persona, qualities are no longer as the one that you actually chose and liked and had a good relationship with, if you did. You should be focusing on the problems and the way she behaved with you, the way she acted, and the way she left the relationship, and the problems that caused this relationship to get where it does. And that focus frees you from staying loyal to something that is no longer the same. When you understand that, then you will see that you don't have to feel lonely. Why should you feel lonely? 8 billion people here. Give a chance to other women. You will see that you wasted 10 years of your life. And it's devastating. I understand, because you're a serious man. You're probably a kind man, a good-hearted man. And this woman didn't deserve you. So don't be shy to call it for what it is. Not qualified. Let her go. You don't owe her anything. If you haven't been physically or emotionally abusive, then you don't owe her anything. Move on. Move on and find another woman. There's lots of amazing women out there. All right. Chuckster says 34, but then he corrects it, says I'm 37. 37 male USA. He says, I think when I meet my soulmate, there's no such thing as soulmate. Okay? Stop that. You're putting someone, because mistakenly, because you get along with someone, you're going to think that she's a soulmate, and then when she leaves, you say, oh my goodness, I'm devastated, my soulmate left. No, she was never soulmate. There is no such thing as soulmate. It's either you're compatible on the content of the consciousness level or you're not. There's no such thing as soulmate. What do you mean soulmate? Soul means soul, one. It could be mate. There are two souls. Soulmate, it's just one soul. Soul doesn't have mate. Because soul is part of the whole universe. It's one, yeah? Okay, we don't get into that now. And says, well, be humans pulling a rickshaw instead of horses pulling a buggy. Sorry, I make lame joke. No, it's not bad. I just want everyone to smile. Yeah, good job. So the key is don't bloody pull a rickshaw. Because that's cheating. Otherwise, then you'll become careless, because you know whenever you stop, the rickshaw stops. Yeah, smart ass. All right. Quartulane says, thank you. You're welcome. Charles says, don't use the ugly stick, please. I have a headache. Too late. It's coming. It's going to be in the mail soon. But prepare. Put your motorcycle helmet on, because it's your name is written on it in bold. All right. Okay. Now, okay, guys, it's 1 hour and 34 minutes and 25 seconds and so on. It's 10:33 here. Maybe I can still, if it's not raining, make my at least not the uphill walk but the sea walk on the ocean and get some exercise. So it looks like we have answered all the questions. There are no more questions here. It's time for me to say I love you all. Thank you very much for being here and allowing me to share a thing or two with you. Don't forget to promote the channel, please. Come on, guys, help out. If this is your channel and you love the contents and it's helpful to you, then don't be stingy or selfish. Share it with the others and let the others know, and then help us to grow and to reach more people and help more people. All right. So I love you all. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share a thing or two with you. I said that before, didn't I? So I look forward to talk to you on next Saturday at 1 p.m. Vancouver time, and possibly, if I'm not out and about, 9 p.m. Vancouver time for different time zones. And in the meantime, be good to yourself and to the others. I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.